How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to KC Happy Hour here, episode number 22, live on December 14th here, Tuesday evening. We are happy to be live with all of you guys once again, and we wanted to go through everything from our 2021 season, talk about stuff that's coming up for 2022 with our original cast and crew. In fact, we've got everybody here from the year that has joined us all season long. Of course, best year yet, I would say, or at least one of the best for Mr. Five-time and Supernats champion Ryan Norberg is here with us here tonight. Brandon Jarsacrack, four-timers coming back for 2022. He's here as well. Braden Eves is here as he's continuing to figure out his plans for next year. More guys that are still figuring out their plans are our two youngins on the show, Paulie Massimino and Connor Zillish are here. Now, everyone, I wanted to bring all these guys on, and some of them have already kind of seen a couple of the clips, but now that we've finished our full second season, we've had 16 full episodes. We've actually got some fun stuff in Vegas that we're going to put out as well. But I wanted to kind of surprise them a little bit and bring them through some of the more exciting parts of the season, and we're going to talk through that. Also, there are a huge crop of drivers that are both doing different types of racing in 2022, whether it's more car racing, whether it's moving up in classes. And then there's obviously, as always, every year, a huge chunk of juniors that are moving up. And so next week, we're going to have a big coaching panel. In fact, this may be one of the last weeks of 2021 because we only got a couple episodes left before New Year's that will have all of our cast and crew assembled as we give these guys some well-deserved time off and bring in some of our new special guests to talk about both their seasons, talk about some of the other rookies coming up. But I want to get also a driver's opinion, especially active drivers' opinions on the drivers that they've raced against this year, anyone that's impressed them, anyone that they think might end up having a breakout year in 22, whether it's the rookies that are moving to senior or shifter, or some of the guys that are looking at a sophomore or junior season in the class that, you know, could really stand out, especially with some big names maybe not returning for next season and on to, you know, different things and different types of motorsports. So we'll get into that after our first commercial break. First up, though, we wanted to talk about stuff that's happened here in 2021 and bring everybody in. And the first clip I wanted to bring on is obviously every single week on this show since the season's been active, really since the new pipe came out for X30, the four guys surrounding me and Ryan have been a little bit upset that they have not had the year that Ryan has had from the summer into the fall. And the reason I want to bring this up is in one of the last races before we went to this new program, Ryan had this to say.
So he's going to be hard to beat there. And then, you know, there's a new engine package coming out for USPKS and the Pro Tour. So, I mean, that's a big wrench to throw in it. So it's going to be difficult for everybody just adjusting to that, all the engine builders. So I'm really excited for that and just a new era of IAME in the USA.
Good deal. Congrats. So
I was excited.
So did you have any testing at this point? Did you already freaking get way ahead of everybody by February?
No,
we were testing last year.
No, listen. This is what you guys all don't understand. Is at the beginning of the year, we weren't super quick. And then when the new pipes came out, I went a week before everybody else did in Newcastle. It was me and Joni, and Alex and Raleigh were in Oregon testing with Luke. So we had two different tests going on at one time. And so we were both messaging each other, finding stuff on the carburetor. And then we found stuff on the carburetor that went a lot faster. So we were not super quick. And then we found stuff on the carburetor. They were in Oregon and found it. And then they called us and were like, hey, try this. And it worked really well. And so that's where it all came from. It wasn't like we just put the new kit on and went fast. It was we did this test and found a lot. And then from there, we based everything off of that test. And it's gone a lot faster since then. But it was all because of that test.
Yeah, where do I need to run my needles? Yeah,
where was it? Because I couldn't find it all year.
I've been trying a million different things
to it, and then it goes faster. So yes, we did that, and it worked.
Yeah, so a little bit of hard work. Yeah, I was curious. You know, I was going through all the clips from this season. I was like, this is a very ominous and fateful clip. You know, Ryan's downplaying the new motor. I even asked you about it in the question. I just said you're excited about the next race. You're like, oh yeah. Got a new motor coming. I can't wait.
Well,
you know?
to be honest, I didn't feel like we were fast on the old package. And so I was like, we need to figure something out. So maybe with the new package, we'll figure something out. And we did. So
yeah.
Who puts the most time in gets reward.
Yes.
Most money in.
All right, Braden.
Gotta spend money to make money, Braden.
Braden, we know where all your money went this year.
Don't
if you took all your money you had for car stuff into go-karts, you know, well, then we could see. Let's go back to that weekend though. About 24 hours before that interview, There wasn't everybody so happy. Connor was doing okay on that day, but this day
I'm so tired. I mean, we were running 2 classes, so I know I don't sound very excited, but I'm really, really excited. Ryan got out. He got a pretty good lead. When we caught him, he kept passing us back, so I had to handle it. So it's all right. It was a good race. He was definitely quick. We were quick.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing handling it, and then there's another thing just hitting the guy in first until, so you can keep with him. I was pulling away early, and then he just kept hitting me into turn 1. He did like 3 laps in a row, so then he stays with me, and then he can make a pass. And then on the pass, is handling it is just driving over you on the entry. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what he's talking about, but it's kind of getting annoying.
Sounds like he was handling it to me.
It wasn't. He was just like doing just hitting your bumper a little bit every time you go in the corner. I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, and then drives over you.
And then it's so easy to get in your head, Ryan. You don't realize this.
No, it's
so easy to get in your head. He was in your head.
It's because you threw up your hand. I would have done the same thing if you threw up your hand. I was just you.
Look at Ryan. He's flabbergasted. He's like, man, they're right.
You should have braked deeper. Then he wouldn't have hit you.
Yeah, I was already braking deep, and he was just
blow the corner,
hitting me in the corner. It's fine. It's whatever. We won the championship. So. No problems.
Oh man, I was trying, but Ryan's not the only one that's been involved in controversy this year. We're going to skip ahead actually, and then go back a little bit. This one's straight up for Brandon. Brandon knows what's coming because he already caught a whiff of this clip here. We've talked about it a little bit on the show, but I haven't given him a chance to talk again. So let's play this one back. This is from the 206 Grand Nationals, Cup Carts North America at Newcastle. If it'll play here. Hold on. I'm lagging around.
Is that Gary Lawson on the outside?
They have the rain filter on this time or what?
I did have it on this time.
Holly, where are you?
Nowhere to be found.
He might be coming out of the scoreboard at this time.
Maybe. That's generous.
Come on, Xander.
Xander, where's your Wi-Fi at?
I think this is actually real-time speed for those carts.
Look at Xander. He's like, what's going on?
Gary's tongue is mean.
Xander,
He's got a
Xander, you
mean
still
tongue.
there? Oh no,
Xander
what's going
just
on now?
disappeared. Well, guys, we're taking over.
What do we do now?
And he didn't even give us a. He didn't even give us a. Is there? There's no. There's.
We have
All right,
no
what should we
control
talk
over
about?
any of the clips or anything, so it's just.
All right. Well,
KC Happy Hour is presented by Precision Performance Karting. PPK is the exclusive South Florida dealer for Coyote Motorsports kart racing chassis and Coyote's newest distributor. However, owner John Seglem and Coyote Motorsports' relationship spans across numerous decades in the sport, meaning that you've got years of winning expertise at your service. PPK offers trackside support at all of the CKNA South Division events, the CKNA majors, such as the Spring Nationals and the Grand Nationals, the Sunshine State Karting Challenge, and a number of club races in the Southeast. PPK also has an impressive driver roster at these events, racking up multiple wins and podiums in 2021 with longtime Coyote Motorsports driver Chris Carroll and KC Happy Hour's own Paulie Massimino and Brandon Jarsakrak. If you're looking to get on the same race-winning equipment as these drivers, from the Coyote Motorsports chassis to the Odenthal motor mounts and Greyhound racing seats, Precision Performance Karting has you covered. Check out Precision Performance Karting on Facebook and Instagram or email them at ppkartingfl@gmail.com. There's a new engine program on the block that's already begun winning races. Speed Lab Racing Engines has already racked up wins in X30 classes at the U.S. Pro Kart Series and Rock GP classes at the most recent Rock Vegas event. Headed up by names you can trust, such as longtime engine builder Mario Lafredo and industry veteran Mike Speed.
It's time.
Speed Lab Racing Engines has quickly become the engine of choice for a number of top
Can
teams.
Jarsakrak get there? Can he get $5,500?
The entire Rullison Performance Group and Speed Concepts Racing operations at Rock Vegas, and also servicing the likes of JC Karting and Mike Doty Racing. It won't be long before this engine program gets a wait list, with his resume already filling up with wins, so make sure to reach out and get your tune-up by emailing them at speedlabracingengines@gmail.com. Okay,
all right,
We're back.
I'm back. I don't know what I
That
missed.
was 100% intentional. 12-time commercial break.
Yeah.
I just wanted to drop the beef for Brandon to talk about and then just run away.
Xander tends to run long on the show, so we told his dog to unplug the router for a second. We could get a commercial break in.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, okay. So the clip I don't think played because I died and the clip was with me. But Brandon,
Still 2-by-2.
here's your
Warren
clip.
Lawson at the line. Colin Warren by 14 thousandths of a second wins the Grand National Championship. Man,
I mean, I was driving by him, and then all of a sudden he got a boost, and looked back, and Brandon chose to help him win the race because obviously he's got a problem.
I was going to position myself a little bit better in the beginning. I did a little bit better with gearing, but I didn't, and sort of.
Brandon, I find it funny. The only beef you were involved in this year was at a 4-cycle race.
Dude, the amount of beef I've been involved in 4-cycle races this year has been insane. It's been so much more than I've been involved in my entire life in every 2-cycle race. Wow, that's
What'd you say, Connor?
That's offensive, Connor.
Oh my gosh,
Connor. I said you're the best at everything, and you're the amazing driver I've ever watched.
No, whatever, Connor.
Oh my God!
Just start BJR already. I'll race for you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Scary did tell me I was number one. Told me I was number one after the finish. I still don't really understand why, but
I finished.
He was.
Yeah, I finished third. Why you tell me I'm number one?
He was halfway off the track, so I went with the guy on the inside, and that's how it was.
Right. There was nothing more to that at all, right, Brandon?
Nope.
You should have positioned your cart in the middle of both of them.
Yeah, push both.
Should have been in the middle.
Well, if I had a little bit less gear on, I probably could have went for the win, but we were hitting the rev limiter coming out of the corner, getting onto the straightaway, so I didn't really have anything else for him.
Sounds like me at Supernats.
All right. And now we got to go to the most infamous moment of our season and definitely the most viewed moment of our season, and that is the final 2 laps of the Grand Shootout. We're going to play that back for everyone here to watch as I lose my voice.
Will he throw it all away? Behind him. Again,
and then let everybody walk on through. Braden, you said you stacked.
Dude, you have such a big lead, man. What the hell?
This is going to be wild. I'm going to have to go here.
Braden, you sold.
Is this traumatizing?
Brandon with the
Braden?
mega motor right there.
I know.
No, that was the mega braking.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
No, here's the
terrible
mega
run out of
braking.
here. I got a mega run out of here too.
There's the mega braking.
Oh.
Ryan, if only you could have done that to me.
That's what I was doing. I just
Didn't do it.
Wait, Manzanino is coming.
Well, I forgot there was other people still involved in the race after this. And
oh my God.
Oh.
At least Brandon made up for it by letting me by here.
Brandon, what'd you do right there? Brandon, why are you passing for second? You know you only get money for first.
I got money for second.
You got more,
not
not as
enough.
much.
And I wasn't. I
know,
You think I should have sat in third?
You probably should have, because me and Polly probably would have wrecked each other.
Nah, Brandon, you suck at blocking. I still would have won.
Oh my
all right.
He cost me.
Brandon, you admitted it. You admitted it when we talked about this the other day. You admitted you
It's
sucked
true.
at
On the way to the airport, we did. No, I just said I forgot that you were still involved
you
in the
just
race.
suck.
I thought it was just
You
me
just
and
suck at
Bees,
blocking.
and that was it.
You don't remember at Newcastle this year where I sauced you up with the blocking?
Yeah, we were blocking for like 6th place, so I didn't know.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
You
Why
guys
were you
hate
blocking?
The thing
Yeah.
is, Brandon, you didn't even have to block there. Like I had
I know.
like 2
Well,
more
I'm used
teeth
to
than you. I
Pauly.
wouldn't have passed you at the end of the straightaway, even if you just went flat through
I'm
there.
used to Pauly literally stuffing everyone in turn, watching him stuff everyone in turn 3 every time, and so I was protecting it a little bit. But I messed up. I was still amazed I made the pass stick in the hairpin.
Yeah, you're just flat. You're just blown away that you made that pass, and you're just didn't stop thinking about it. And
No, it was, his
Throw away
first
that
time, it was his only time in the lead.
It was
so
my
he got
first time
nervous.
in the lead this
You got
year, so I got really nervous.
it only lasted for 3 corners, and then he crashed.
Yep, story of my year.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
Yeah, Braden, how much teeth did you put on? Because this is 2 to go.
I
You
put
had
on
like
one tooth.
you had like you had about, I remember it was almost a second with like 5 to go, and like 3 laps that lead was just blown. And I can joke about that because I'm an Atlanta sports fan.
No, okay. The
And
reality
we blow stuff all the time.
Is that we were struggling with engine that weekend. Of all the races that I ran
when is Braden
this year,
not? I've never been a race where Braden has ever been like, yeah, my power was good. It's
that's
always
not true.
bad.
Okay,
It's
that's not true.
Thursday.
Summer Nats.
No,
He actually did say, he said
2020.
Super Nats. He said Super Nats. He had a pretty good motor.
On Wednesday. On Wednesday,
but
not
not
Thursday. Not by Friday. Not by Saturday. Saturday, it was back to shit.
Yeah.
Mine's good, Braden.
but
I don't know.
Thursday-
Summer
I don't
Nats
know what
2020.
Brandon's
I
giving
missed
you.
that engine. That was that engine was the love of my life.
I loved watching you guys during like the 10 minutes just thrash on your carts while I'm just standing there because I just knew it was. I
had to
felt lucky
rebuild
right
mine,
there.
so I didn't really have a choice. I didn't
All
have a
right.
brake rotor, so I had to rebuild it.
You're
Yeah.
forced to rebuild yours and then went out there and blew it.
Blew it again.
Yeah,
Paulie,
standard.
you're just lucky I don't have more clips here because I was gonna play your pre-race interview right before the main event. I don't have it. But
How's the motor?
Yeah.
Shit off the bottom. I just leaned the mess out of it, or Ryan did. We just leaned the mess out of it, and it was still bad.
That's what.
If you don't
That's
have
what Ryan
bottom,
was
why are you
doing to
leaning it
his.
down? How does that even make sense?
Paulie doesn't
Because
know
when
what
I
he's
tried to
doing.
richen it
He's
out,
just
it
talking,
just made
dude.
it worse.
He's just trying to make
Yeah, he
himself.
doesn't. He has
No,
no
no,
idea
no.
what he's talking about.
When I richened it out, when I richened it the time before, it was terrible. So I had to go the other way.
Richin spinning it backwards, right?
No, it's forwards. Because,
Okay.
you know,
I was
you
testing
just
you.
always got
Was that the
to,
front or the middle needle?
when in doubt, you just
The middle needle.
lean her out.
Top or the bottom needle?
Oh.
It's like in front of the airbox, the one that I was turning.
Okay.
Which one is that, Paulie?
The high speed idle.
No, like in front of the airbox.
I just reach over and push the throttle line down further so I get that extra.
What was
little
that
bit of
question,
power.
Xander?
Here, our this is the first of our Q&A here. Show of hands, who tunes the carb on the fly?
Rarely.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Barely.
I will
I
say,
get yelled at.
in Super Nats, halfway through the race, I did tune my carb, and I went a bit faster. So
It's like
first time it's ever happened. I also tuned it in Heat 3 and went so much slower. So
Yeah, that's what it's about. Like I'll be like, all right, this thing is a pile of turds, and then I'll go to tune it, and it'll just be a bigger mess.
yeah, it's.
And I'm like, I just try not to touch it because
I did that in Super Nats too, in the K, and it was just.
To be fair, your hand was like a meatball, so I don't think.
I know, it was hard. I was like.
Could have really finessed the needle.
What's the next clip?
Let's see. I'm actually tight on one. We'll have to go to commercial for me to make one more. That's most of the ones I have now. But I have one, Connor. I actually went to go clip it, and this is what crashed me out right before we went here because I was trying to find it and I didn't have it. And this was I don't remember a lot of times that you had beef this year, but you had a couple where you didn't really get into trouble on track, but you were very, very upset in the scale line. If we go back, USPKS Indianapolis, this one didn't even make it in the edit, and you go, the boys in blue were picking on me all race right there. All the RPG guys didn't drive me fair.
Yeah, because I passed Ryan. He stuffed me in the next corner, and then Biggs starts driving away from us, and Ryan's just sitting there blocking me while Biggs is driving away from all of us. I'm like,
why do you expect anything different, bro?
Yeah.
Why do you expect?
To be fair, Xander, you do cut out all of our interviews at every single race.
there's some good ones.
I've talked to you guys about it. I'm not trying to kill anybody yet. Until we are a little bit bigger, then it'll be more fun to do that.
What do you mean kill us?
Well, I don't want to get you canceled, Paulie.
I'm not worried about getting canceled. Just put in my interview. I didn't even curse or anything. I just went after a few people. I went after a few people. That's all.
Yeah. Well, hey, next year you have my word. I will leave the most controversial shit you guys say in the. I won't even have a choice because we're gonna be live streaming. So whatever you guys say there, it's just gonna automatically be set in stone, just like the one interview you had. Connor, we talked about this obviously last week. I think your legendary moment's definitely the slap from this year. And Yeah, well,
Wow.
we were talking before the show. Kudos, right, to the 10K views. But I think all of our viewers can agree we're trying to egg Connor on to edit and put the slap on his own channel because we're pretty sure if he posts that slap, that will go more viral than even the race coming all the way forward. So if you guys could see that, yeah.
Really just
we want to talk.
That's literally why I watched the video. I skipped everything and just went to the end.
I cut out.
Cut it.
It's the clickbait,
Connor,
man.
I don't even get why you slapped him like that. Like that wasn't even like anything. It wasn't
like an I want to hurt you. It's like a F you, man. Like what was that for, man?
F you, man.
I went like this, and then I was like, that's not enough.
You did a lot of that the whole week, man. You
Oh, Kyle found it. Kyle got the clip. There it is.
There's go-karts still going around the track, and he's just like, I'm going to get him.
Cole just sat there. He was like...
Well, he knew what he did.
The whole top 5 just literally wiped each other.
Number one!
Oh, poor Thomas. I mean, he's just wrong place, wrong time. That it was like the first time he was gonna. I think that would have been first win for anything for him this year. I don't think he won any other K races.
He won Homestead.
Series, yeah.
Homestead K. There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the only. Yeah, I think that's the only thing he
Here's your
won.
team owner, Paulie, jumping in. So, I don't know which of the Morgan brothers. I'd have to bet Cole. For slapping Jack Crawford a few years ago, but maybe it was Carson.
I think
Morgan got a 3-month.
I'm definitely saying Carson.
Slapping Crawford a few years ago.
You know, me and Tom are good friends, so I got.
How come you guys always get into these altercations? I never get into these altercations.
Because I don't
either.
It was Carson. Carson got into it. It wasn't Cole. So Brandon, you're right.
Carson.
I guess they would have been. That's a couple year age gap.
That's a shocker for Carson. I definitely suspect Cole for that.
Yeah. Well, I wish we had Cole on video too from Utah this year. Not all the viewers got to see
That
it.
was a good one.
That's a good
That was
one.
my favorite.
Yeah, we can't post that footage. That's SCUSA license footage. But if you go back and look at the SCUSA Utah edit, they made sure to make that in. And I can't remember if we talked about it on the show, but I didn't even we didn't catch it on camera, and I didn't want to put it in because there was so much controversy going around it. But Cole got DQ'd for the day and was borderline suspended going into Newcastle when he was in contention for the KA championship because in X30, Netvu chopped him on like a lap and a half to go for third, and Cole got up on his left rear. And so they both get out of the go-karts. They're over in the Utah stand. Everyone's going by. They're back to, they're going to follow the back. So they get to lift the go-karts up, and then they just Thomas just keeps on lifting until Cole's cart does a whole backflip. And then to me, still, the funniest part about the whole exchange, right, is Thomas Netvu is a pretty tall kid. He's like almost 6 foot, I'd bet. And Cole's not the tallest kid in the world. But Cole is pissed off that Thomas has flipped his go-kart over, just completely backflipped it and didn't expect it. He thought he was helping him. So he starts trying to take shots at him, right? Push him, punch him in the helmet. They have the helmets on. But Cole is short, right? So he's literally going like this, like punching up at his helmet, pushing him away. And it's like all Thomas has to do is just stiff arm him down, right? And just push. And he does. He just takes it. And then the saddest part is Thomas gets booted off the team for his actions of flipping the go-kart over, and Cole kept on running. Granted, they were on different deals.
Hold on. What's sad about that?
Well, I mean, both guys committed wrongs. One hit the one guy's lifted the guy's go-kart. The other one hit the guy in the helmet. One of them
I would have hit him too if he flips over my go-kart. Like, you deserve everything that comes after.
So that almost happened in Sonoma when Kremers came over. He crashed with somebody, and he lifted the cart until the kid fell out of it, and then was about to flip it over and stopped. And I think Tom got there and was like, "All right, we got to finish it," and then just full on did it.
Michael Avancino.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna come back here from this one. This will be a little bit shorter show on the night because we have a couple more funny moments we want to pull on out. But we'll take our last commercial break. We'll come back for about another 20 minutes here, everyone. So stick with us. It's always fun reliving these moments after all the heat is gone. And as you've heard it, all these guys want me to keep the controversy in for whatever races they run next year. We'll talk about that after the break. So you guys will get more content like that and even more when we come back in January. But again, stick with us. Casey Happy Hour rolls on. Kart Store USA is a kart parts supplier that racers and retailers can count on when they need reliable advice and service. We focus on servicing all racers with honesty and pride while maintaining customer satisfaction. We carry a full stock of Kart Republic and Tony Kart chassis, as well as IAMI and Vortex Rock engines. We've also got a host of other parts available and in stock, such as products from Rev Performance Materials, Jecco Racing Seats, and more. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and on top of that, if your order exceeds $200, shipping is on us. Check out all we have to offer today by visiting us online at kartstore-usa.com. As the Western importer of the Praga and Formula K chassis brands, Leading Edge Motorsports is a high-performance kart shop and race team with a simple mission: teach others the joy of high-performance driving, supply our customers with the highest quality products and services, and most of all, win races. With our remarkable racing inventory, expert services, and top-ranked national-level team to back it up, we'll help to get your new kart racing package up and running fast. From arrive and drive service to kart preparation and driver coaching to the parts you need to get you back on the racetrack, Leading Edge Motorsports is the industry answer.
I'm Billy Vincent, owner of MPG Motorsports. What we do at MPG is we try to keep it a nice, fun family atmosphere, try to combine sort of the bigger things and of the bigger teams and the professionalism down with sort of some of the fun sort of family-oriented atmosphere. We try to not only develop drivers, but also the parents and the families for just in knowledge in general in motorsports. It all starts in karting. What we try to do is try to help the drivers, the moms, the dads understand the sport of motorsports in general, not just karting, but what it takes to get all the way up through. Whether you end up wanting to be a driver or a mechanic or an engineer, you know, we can help you with that, and that's what we're here for. If you're interested in joining us at MPG, our home base is at Whiteland Raceway Park in Indianapolis, and you can contact us at info@willpowerkart.com, and one of our great people will reach out to you, and we'll try to put the best program together.
All right, welcome back, everybody, here from commercial break. Since I mentioned at the beginning of the show, guys, that this may be the last time that we have this entire crew assembled together here for this year, just because we're looking at bringing in a ton more guests. We may bring them in for short segments through the winter. We've only got a couple more episodes. Want to give everybody time off, obviously, for Christmas break. I'm not sure if we'll end up doing anything that week, being so close. And then, you know, we'll see how everything shakes out for 22. So send in your final round of Q&A for obviously our original cast and crew. I'll let you guys know the special guests that we got coming next week. I already got a couple of them confirmed, which is good for me because most of the time I end up doing it last second. So I'm actually trying to plan a little bit and do a little bit more with the show. So send those in. We've already got some sent in. While I'm clipping, the last clip that I've got that I really wanted to play before we let these guys go, I did want to send it over to the room because next week we're going to have a driver coaching panel. It's going to kind of almost give like a school grade or at least kind of evaluate each driver's season in senior and in shifter. All the main guys that we normally feature on Car Chase, anyone you've seen in any of the episodes, from guys that maybe underperformed or guys that maybe overperformed. And I didn't want to put our drivers on the spot, and I didn't want to put any team owners on the spot because obviously they're in a little bit of a different position. But our third party, well-respected former drivers and driver coaches, I think, are the best guys to talk about that. With that being said, though, everyone in here obviously is a driver. You kind of know your competition of who you're coming in to race, you know, on a given weekend. And I wanted to go around the room, and Connor, will start with you and work our way around the block down to Paulie until I come around. But are there any drivers specifically this season, if you can think back to where you were January, February, March, or even after the engine change that, you know, really stuck out, or guys you're looking at moving up from junior into senior that you think are going to do really, really good next year? Anyone that really had a breakout season in senior this year or should be good in 22?
Obviously, I think Carson will do well. He was running somewhat at the front at Supernats. He'll do well in senior. I think Fletcher will do pretty well. He might take a while to get up to speed in senior, but I think he'll be right up there. Obviously Ryan. Paul, are you doing any races next year?
Still waiting to hear from the boss. So.
All right. Well, Ryan, Brandon, when you do race, you'll be decent. Hopefully,
Yeah, hopefully.
Keep my fingers crossed for you, but I think it'll be like a Carson, Ryan, Fletcher, Paulie if he races, Brandon if he races, kind of showdown.
Yeah. Brandon, what about you? Looking into 2022, you've been doing this for a while. You've seen guys kind of jump up from junior to senior and struggle, and then we've also seen some guys that kind of jumped up, didn't really make a lot of noise in junior and go to senior. I mean, who do you got your eyes on next year? You think will impress?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like Connor said, I think Carson's going to move up and have a really good year, kind of like what Connor did this year. He definitely had one of the best rookie seasons in senior that I've seen in a long time. And I think Carson's going to follow kind of the same steps. Jeremy will be another one to watch. Justin Anacondas under our tent, I think he'll move up to senior and he'll have a pretty good year. He was competitive in junior. He just kind of need a little bit more racecraft to win a race, but I think that'll get better next year. And then I don't know, there was a lot of good people in senior this year. It all depends who's coming back. I don't really know what everyone's schedules are like. So obviously Ryan will be up front. He had a crazy year this year, and hopefully that doesn't continue to next year, but we'll see.
Haters, man.
Love each other around here.
I love this one. This is gonna be good.
Let's see.
I don't have anything for you, to be honest. I'm not at enough races and I don't really watch junior that often, to be honest.
No, you
I
do.
don't know.
All right, there are
know.
guys this year you were running against. You did not think you were going to be running.
Well,
against.
I mean, obviously, if we're talking about people that had outstanding rookie seasons, Connor had the best rookie season of anyone, and then yeah, I mean, I don't know. There wasn't really anyone else. I mean, it was really just Connor and Ryan were like the main guys this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's see. We'll go down. Ryan, let's throw some different names in. Obviously, everyone's been mentioned is going to be big. I think Carson Morgan's probably the most hyped up senior prospect, especially with how he ended out in junior and then how dominant he was in his heat races in KA. There's some other strong ones coming up, but there were some kids out of your camp that had really impressive years this year too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Paul Bacuse and Noah Harmon will do pretty well. They're just kind of getting comfortable with the team and everything, so I think we're going to see them start to compete up front and kind of get their legs underneath them. I think Fletcher, like they said, I think will do really well. I think his driving style fits the yellows much more than they do the reds. Same with Carson. The only thing I will say is those kids both handle things like a lot better. Like they kind of intimidate a lot of their competition in junior, I think. Like when kids turn into them, they just turn back into them and they like kind of manhandle the class. And I don't know, I'm interested to see how that'll happen in senior, because I know a lot of the time, like you come into senior and you either do like Connor where you can stand on your own, or you end up getting sent back to the back. So it's going to be one of those two things. But yeah, I think for sure they're going to be fast. I think there's a few guys like I said, Paul and Noah are going to be quick, as well, and find their own, especially in Orlando when we go there. And then there's always the front runners. HG will be fast, and Nate will probably race another year, so I think Nate's going to be fast. There's going to be all the standard guys that are up there that continue to race will still be there.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Nate's going to have a busy year, obviously with the Spec MX5 stuff, but to have him back will be good because he ended off the year super well, and Hannah back will be awesome. Paulie here, I'll let you last one up. Obviously, a lot of the names have already been mentioned, so you can go either way. You can go a guy that you kind of didn't really expect to have a good year and had a good year this year, or a guy that maybe you thought you think's gonna have a really good 22, whether it's a rookie or a guy looking at his second or third season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to throw any hate, but after last year, I was kind of expecting Norberg not to be as dominant as he was, to be honest. But he's done pretty well this year, I'd say. Brandon, I had a little more expectation for him this year.
I think we all
did.
Yeah, we all did.
I don't know. Connor, obviously, he had a really good year, but so I don't know how much we'll see of him next year. But if he's there, he'll still be up there. But people I see coming out of the juniors to the seniors, definitely Carson. He's going to be fast. After just listening to him under the tent and stuff like that, I feel like if he put a lot of focus into everything, he's gonna be hard to beat. He's a very smart driver. Cole, I think Cole will do good too because I mean he's got a girlfriend now, so as long as she keeps him right, then I think he'll be all right. He won't get
Oh my God.
He'll keep his mind clear, and then Justin, I think he'll do pretty well. Justin seems like a smart person as well.
Rowan?
I don't think
Roro's on the
racing
cars.
next year.
Oh yeah, he is.
Roro's on the Miatas.
Yeah.
I think Fletcher will be up there. I think he's gonna have to learn a little bit because I've watched a good bit of his racing this year. I know he likes to block, so I don't think a lot of people in senior like that. So after he figures out a little bit, I think he'll be up there. And I got one more. I've been kind of helping him all year, but kind of not. But Timmy, my boy Timmy is gonna be at the front next year.
Oh, nice. That's a good shout out.
And, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna save some of mine, especially for next week when we get all the panel guys on. I think it's interesting to hear from you guys, especially because it's always really a mixed bag. There's kids that set the world on fire in junior and come out and maybe don't end up as on top. And I think Ryan, you hit on it pretty good. About how in junior, especially like when you have a 15-year-old looking down, or 15 or 14-year-old down to like an 11-year-old, you can get that intimidation factor that all of a sudden you go from big kid on the block to the new kid on the block. So Connor, you're obviously the one that made the transition this year at everybody, and granted you didn't do a ton of US junior racing in 2020. But how do you think you were able to handle that transition as good as you did and kind of balance the respect? Do you think there's any secret sauce?
Nah, you just gotta drive like you normally drive. I mean, you can't really in junior like what who said it, Braden? Who said like the junior kids just manhandled? Yeah, yeah, that's
Ryan.
true. I mean, I can go out when I was at the end of my junior career, I would go out there and I'd get to I'd just battle for the lead no matter what. Like if someone passed me for the lead, I'd pass them right back, and they'd kind of just get scared away and not want to battle me anymore. So there is a trueness to that isn't true in senior, but I kind of just found my pace in senior, and it kind of just worked well for me. There wasn't really any secret I changed this in my driving. You just kind of got to be smart, and I felt like I was one of the smarter junior drivers. There's some junior drivers that I watch and I'm like, man, what are you doing out there? So I think it's kind of just a sense of using your head. There's just kids out there that don't feel, I don't know, they fold under pressure and make pretty stupid mistakes that are easily fixed. So just minimizing your mistakes is the biggest thing in senior, because to run at the front, you can't make mistakes.
Right. I think I would agree a lot with that, because I think the reason why a Connor could race up front and I don't think he got treated any differently than anybody else is because he acted and carried himself like the rest of the drivers. And when you do that, I think you just kind of naturally you get the flow of the race. You understand when and where to make passes, how to get people out of the way. You don't take too long, and I think that was a good, everybody kind of out the gate was understood that Connor kind of knew what he was doing and really didn't care that he was up there. But it's when you get the juniors that don't know what they're doing and then they're not doing things when they should, not passing when they should, over blocking, and that's when it gets frustrating and you're like, all right, get this kid out of here, and you end up just taking him out. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is minimize mistakes and act like a senior, drive smart.
I feel like with Connor, he was really good. He's been really good all ever since after that flip and whatever. He got really good, and I think what really helped him kind of learn and just kind of be smarter was because obviously he was really good in junior, but once he went over to Europe, I feel like once he came back, he was totally different person. I feel like with him going over there and racing those kids, knowing how they race, I feel like he came back and he learned a lot from over there. Because Connor moved up to junior and I was still in junior. I think it was my last year, and it rained, and he was good, but he wasn't any type of way he is now. He's a monster in the rain. But I feel like going over to Europe, he was good before, but then I feel like when he went to Europe, he matured a lot and he came back a really different person.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
It's
I think
just a
he
different
matured.
kind of
He
racing.
matured a
You
lot as a
learn.
person and a lot as a driver. I
Yeah.
would agree.
Yeah.
You just learn a lot. Like, I don't know, if you have the budget to do it, it's one of the best things you can do to become a better driver. It's just being comfortable, being uncomfortable is one of the best things you can do in a car. I mean, in cars and go-karts. I mean, I try and get in as many cars as I can if I can, because the more you can get in, the more you can challenge your brain, the better. So I think that was just like going over there and seeing the differences. It added to the racecraft that I already had. And when I came back, I kind of just I always found myself in the right situation. Like I never really put myself in the wrong situation that commonly. So it was just more experience and different experience. It really helps.
Yeah, well that was the thing I was gonna add on to kind of close off on you, and we move on to the next point was I think what?
Nothing.
Oh,
Ryan, you want the spotlight? We can talk about you.
hey,
No,
hey, go-
no.
no,
No,
go
I'm
ahead.
opening a message from Polly, so I just
Oh.
what he said.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
Oh, all right. Well, now you guys are gonna have to expose it once we get this. But I didn't want to say that.
No.
Yeah,
We don't want to expose it.
for the record, everyone, this isn't Paulie's first instance of sending sus stuff to like everybody on the show, like during the show. He tries to get like a rise out of people. He looked like that's half the time while he's serious. He's
It was pretty
focused.
funny. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, when Paulie's like stone cold focused at the screen, it's not because like he's just that focused on what we're talking about. He's trying to like plot and scheme how he can mess us all up. But Connor, I think like I don't think like the rain pace probably helped a ton just driving in the rain a lot over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you look back at the right before you really started going over there consistently. I can count on like a bunch of hands, like exactly what you were saying, where you were in like last lap scenarios and we're in the wrong position and end up coming out on the losing end a whole lot more than on the winning end. And I think maybe once or twice this year in like a specific heat race or something, I can remember you like making the wrong move. And I mean, really, Supernats X30, you could even like just with the way the Hiltbrand first and second passes attempt, that is the only fault I think anyone can really fault you for. I mean, you probably beat yourself up way more for that, but you never know what a guy's going to do.
I was in pain from that one.
Yeah.
It was just, Hildebrand's obviously a really good driver, and he spends a lot of time racing in Europe, so he already has that experience, and he's the only person that I can say outdrove me in that race, and he didn't win the race because when he passed me, he kind of messed it up. So that was his mistake, and his mistake fell under my mistake too. So we both ended up making a mistake, and I mean it was what it was, and I think Europe is just you get yourself in so many more situations over there. I don't know what it is about it, and it's just the kids over there, they are raised differently in a go-kart and they learn differently, and going over there and learning their techniques and then coming back here, you apply them over here, and nobody knows. It's not like something special crazy. It's just you put yourself in more situations, and over time you're going to be better in those kinds of situations on the last lap or battling a kid, and it's just being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
Well, let's piggyback off that final point that we'll go around the room for tonight. Since we're on the topic of rookies, and we got a lot of them moving up, and I did mention also in the show here on the description, and we'll talk about it probably a little bit more next week. I'm not sure who all we're going to have that's going to be looking at shifter. There's always some kids that you think end up going to senior and kind of end up over there. But let's go back to everybody else's rookie year. Can you guys think of a specific race or a specific stupid mistake that you did that as a rookie, maybe it was cockiness or whatever, you threw a race away or were throwing races away until you like mended? Because I think everybody, Brandon Lemke talked about it at our initial Summer Nats video. Or I think one of the things in the video, I don't even know if it got cut or not, but about how his initial rookie year, he was really cocky when he came in, pushed everybody around, and then kind of had to like fight that reputation off because he just, thought he ran the world. So Brian, you had your rookie Pro Tour 1, but you were already in senior before that.
I've been in senior for like 3 years at that point, so I really didn't have like.
It wasn't like,
but I would say national. Like that was probably because I didn't really do. Yeah, that was probably my first national like big mistake was that race, and so that was like a big learning curve was like learning how to not panic, because I was full on panicking because I was faster than I knew what to do with, and I didn't know how to control it. So yeah, you don't always have to lead every lap. So that was a big learning curve there.
You're talking about your wreck with
Braden win. Yeah, when Braden won.
Yeah, when Braden won,
When I took out like the top 4. And
was that in the desert?
Yeah,
with, crashed
with
like
Mastronzi.
70 miles an hour, like
right
off the racetrack.
Yeah.
Gary was telling me about that one.
Oh, Gary still tells me about that. He's like, that was our race, man. I can't believe you. Sorry.
You won the other day, though. You won the other day.
Yeah, I won in the rain.
Weekend.
I won in the rain, which is like mind-boggling. And then I lose in the dry, which is, I have no idea. I mean, if you told me that now, I would freak out.
Braden, what about you? I mean, that was second year. You did Summer Nats the year before on the comp cart, right? But I don't think you ran the full Pro Tour.
Yeah, so I don't know. It was kind of weird for me because at that time when I was in junior, obviously they were still on the MG Yellows in junior, and it was just so slow. It was like so equipment based, and I just felt like I was always down on equipment. So like I was just always getting beat by like 12-year-olds and just always like so frustrated. And when I moved up, it's a lot more difficult to drive. And when I moved up, I felt like I always did way, way better, like for my whole career. I mean, when I moved up out of cadet, I did better in junior. And when I moved into senior, I did better in senior. So I don't know. I always thought that it was just more so like the higher skill ceiling that senior has always helped me. And plus the racing was a lot more aggressive. So you have a little bit more you can do there. It's not just people in junior that are just follow the leader and whoever has the fastest cart ends up winning. But I don't know. I thought it was I don't think it was that big a step up for me.
Brandon, you're looking at your 10th year in senior. If you go back to USPKS 2013, if I'm not mistaken, I think you were.
Yeah, something like that.
I got a good one.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I remember the one. Are you talking about the one where you're on the PCR at GoPro?
Yeah, that's why you came up, and I was like, dude, that's it. That was a big.
That was one of his worst ones.
All right, who wants to tell the story? Which one of you?
Him and Jake Donald were like probably, I don't know, 5 seconds ahead of me, and Ryan got to the lead somehow on a PCR, and
somehow,
and like probably 4 or 5 laps ago, he started blocking like the most absurd blocking I've ever seen in my life. And
really good.
I caught them from 5, 6, 7 seconds back, and somehow passed them both and won the race. And that was my first senior win.
Yeah. He passed me.
He blocked so bad.
Right.
Ryan, didn't you send it in on the inside going to the double right?
Yes, because I was freaking out. I just had no idea. Like I was like relatively quick. Like I wasn't slow. I just was like.
You weren't even close to making the corner too. You like flew off the track.
Yeah, not a chance. I was like, yeah, the double right, that makes sense. So I just sent it and blew off the track and finished 4th. Yeah, that was the worst senior mistake right there.
Yeah, I think
that one was pretty bad.
2015.
15,
I think 15
14.
USPKS.
I think it was 14. I think it was 14.
Man, I was 7 years old.
No, 14. I remember 14. Ryan, you wrecked with Andre Castro down the front stretch in junior.
That was 2013, homie.
No, it wasn't. No, you're a year off because
I think I've crashed a few times on that straightaway. I can't remember which year it was.
I don't know.
I remember that.
That was the funniest thing because Andre ended up on the grid, spun up the hill, wheel hopped at the start finish line, spun up the hill to the grid, and you went all the way down to the infield for like
a little bit of a dirty driver in junior.
Yeah, I remember I was pissed at you actually watching. I wasn't even in the race.
Were you?
One specific race.
Why?
I hated you for this. It was Pittsburgh junior that year. You climbed through. It was after you got the penalty from McAndrews when you threw his hands up at him, and you both were like back a little bit.
I got disqualified for it.
Yeah, Matt Solar. It's end of the first lap. You're digging. You're up from like 8th to 3rd, down to turn 1. It's Matt Solarczyk, Julia Booz, Then
you're hallucinating.
You them both into the pillows. See, you know what I'm talking about. You set both of them into the pillows with that big PCR nasty bumper that never dented in. And it racing clean. And goes on and wins the freaking race, man, by like
Julia missed the braking zone, and I just was behind her, and she missed it and hit him. And then they kind of bottled up, and then I encouraged them off the racetrack.
Encouraged them off the race.
I won the race, yeah, correct.
Right, nosedived them into the pillows
them
on lap 2. Lap 2. I was still tight about it, man.
Yep. Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, but yeah, that GoPro race was fun. But I think it was 20 because that was 2014. So you're still in junior then. So this was 2015. Only reason I say 2015 is before I choked in the final, I was able to out qualify Brandon in the rain in Yamaha Senior. So I pulled that one. Yeah, I qualified second. Almost pulled it. Yeah,
Yamaha
I was so terrible in the drive.
The GOAT days.
He was on the arrow, and the arrow was absolutely
I was on the arrow in the rain. It was like the easiest. I drove in the rain one time. It was the easiest thing I've ever done. But I still self-spun in the final. I finished 4th. Brandon won.
The easiest thing I've ever done.
Brandon won the final. I finished 4th. I spun in the final one time, but I podiumed. Paulie, you've been in senior a couple seasons. You're the last one we've gotten to here. What's any rookie advice or any stupid things you did first year?
You know, I can't say I'm a man that makes a lot of mistakes, but
oh my god!
I don't know. I probably have a good amount, but the only one I could remember because we talked about this the other day. It was that GoPro. I think I can't remember if it was my first season in senior. No, it was probably I don't even know. That's why I don't know how these guys remember 20 years ago. I can't remember that far back. But it was that GoPro for USPKS, and I was like, I just got on the Cosmic, and I was like, wow, finally at the front of the seniors somewhat. Brandon, I think you remember this too. But
oh god, yeah, I remember this one.
So Josh Green got into the lead, and I got into second. And I was like, wow, okay. All right.
When Josh Green spun across the finish line.
Yeah, this was this race. It was this race.
Yeah, this is the race I'm talking about.
He got 7 seconds ahead because of Paulie.
That was
so I decided I wanted to try and finish second that race. So, you know, I went on to
like
block
lap 5.
For like 4 or 5 laps. I was just blocking. And then Josh Green was just driving away. Because, you know, I saw I think it was Brandon behind me, and then I don't know who else was behind
Brandon. No, I watched it because I was like slow. I was like running 10th and just.
You were in that race?
Yeah, I was terrible. I was mid pack that weekend. I was at the end of the group. It went like 7-8 carts deep, and I'm just like laughing, like watching at you guys, but I was too slow to catch up. I was just there because you were white lining.
Well, yeah, I was just shivering in my boots that I was up there. So I was just blocking away, then finally they got around me, and then I think I just rode and I got 4th. But I don't know what I was thinking.
Josh Green crashing across the start finish line during the celebration was hilarious. That was
the funniest.
I was standing right there. I was
dying.
If I would have thought, I wish Kyle would have had. This is why we need a bigger library. I'm looking forward to these next few years having streaming. We can pull every single clip up. I think there's a couple pictures. But for the viewers watching along, so Green gets out 7.5, probably closer to like 9 seconds because he slowed down so much when he wrecks across the line, but starts trying to do, you know, Ryan and like half of the field's now trademark of just swerving. I'm the coolest guy, drifted across the line, you know, and drifted a little too hard and spun it into the flag stand on the outside of the racetrack.
Did he actually?
Yeah, he jumped.
No. Dude, that was so funny. He jumped it across the line.
Did he win still or no?
Yeah, he won. He spun.
He was like 7 seconds ahead of us.
He was like
because
spinning,
of
like drifting across the line.
Spinning across the timing loop, sideways across the loop. So his winning picture is him like just literally full lock across and into the tire wall.
They almost disqualified him because he took out the flagman.
Yeah, he knocked the flagman down.
I'm gonna try and find it.
I think I would have got shipped in that wall that race if it wasn't Brandon behind me.
Yeah.
I wasn't behind you. It was
Blake and Ashley were
It was you, then Blake, then Ashley, and I was in like 5th.
Oh yeah, that was like I forgot about Blake because usually my next 30 doesn't.
I think my favorite memory of
there it
Paulie
is.
was when he was like,
Dude,
what?
What?
Oh,
a,
yeah, there it
literally
is.
like,
hold on, I'll pull it up. I'll make him big. Look at that. Yeah, literally dead
so
sideways
funny.
across the line. And this is moments before disaster. Just wrecks into the tires. Oh man. There we go. Yeah, see, here we go. Good point from the viewer. Ryan, you got to make a proud too about how to celebrate without crashing.
We need
think you
Carson
can
to
teach
be
that. I don't
featured
think
in
you can
that one.
teach that.
Carson's celebration's the greatest celebration.
That's like
standing.
Colin Galley, bro. That is literally straight out of the Brazilian.
That is Colin
handbook.
Galley.
Yeah.
That is-
Okay,
It's a
but
sketchy
Allen
stuff.
doesn't do it at like 60 miles per hour though.
Yeah, he slows down.
No,
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't put it
Yeah.
past him. He's crazy. He'll do it.
That dude's wild. Yeah, all the
Brandon,
Brazil-
what were you about to hate on me for?
That race at Road America when you were leading by like 3 seconds and then you drove off the track by yourself onto the motocross track.
I forgot. That was in the pre-final. It was all right, but
Was
I
it?
remember
I thought it was in the final.
that was the pre-final.
Was that
I
last year?
leading.
Was that Road America
Yeah,
last year?
Last year.
No,
He was
that
leading
was-
by like
no,
2 or
yeah,
3.
last year.
It was when you were still a Doty.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just.
He was
riding.
leading by like 2 or 3 seconds, and he didn't just drop a wheel. He just went straight 4 tires off the track.
Senate.
I did manage to keep the lead for like a few more corners after I blocked Brandon again.
Yeah.
Hey Ryan, do you remember Spring Nats 2017 when you stacked the whole field up for 3 laps and allowed me
It
to
was
go
2.
from, like
It was 2. First of all, 2 to go. First of all, which is a reasonable time to start blocking. But yes, I do. I do remember that.
I think
well,
Ryan
that-
still blocks
that-
too much to this day.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah. Well, what about Ryan blocking in the rain for like 10th at Spring Nats the next year at Cal Speed? I think you were like 9th or 10th.
I
and
was
you were
fit,
low-lining in the
dude.
rain.
I was fit. I
was so fast,
I was
man.
holding on to my life at 5th. Yeah, I was blocking. Of course, I was. So what do you think?
In the
just
rain, I
get
don't
up-
think I've seen anybody block in the rain.
I get up as fast as I can, and then I just like everybody. This is it. You know, in the rain, it's like the first 3 laps, and then I hold on.
All right. Well, we got to end the show off on a good note here, so I got to add this last clip. That
Why
Connor
we gotta
knows
do
it.
this, Xander? Why we gotta
It's
do
my
this?
favorite clip. Hold on, I gotta go find it.
Ryan, you're gonna like this one.
Which one is this?
Don't worry
Just
about
wait.
it.
Just wait.
Don't worry about it.
This is
Golden.
this is part of
Golden.
what helped Connor earn all his respect at the beginning of the year.
Ryan, are you sick of losing yet?
Bro, yeah, you caused this, Connor. You caused it. That pissed me off. when I
Karma,
saw that
karma,
video.
dude,
Oh,
karma.
That pissed me off.
Oh man. And this was unprompted, by the way. Connor did this on. Let's just play that one again, just so everybody can see.
That was like such a I'm winning races right out of junior thing to do.
Ryan, are you sick of losing yet?
Yeah.
That was
All right.
so embarrassing.
I
That is so embarrassing.
I forgot about that. That's so funny.
That was at what, like the first Florida Winter Tour or something?
Nah, it was like the
That was
third,
the second
one.
Florida Winter
Second
Tour.
one.
See, that's the other thing we
Well,
didn't talk about.
premature.
Yeah, Connor comes out and he like is top of the world. He dominates the first.
I
Winter Tour,
literally
first ever senior.
sweeped my first senior weekend. I was like, dude, I'm gonna clear this whole year out, dude. I'm blowing their doors off.
Yeah. So after he
Then
did
you
it to
said
Ryan
that,
for
and that
the
was
third
it.
weekend in a row.
There goes my decline.
Then the new X30 kit came out with the special carb settings, and we all lost.
Oh yeah,
Got
sorry.
smoked.
Yeah, we got all kinds of requests here. Leak the rug carb settings, RPG,
RPG.
magic carb settings, rug
all the
carb.
clothes.
kids. It's
You
all the
close the
crossing
high
kids,
and you
man.
open the low all the way. So you
I
just
tried
get
that at
all
Super
the
Nats. It
power.
didn't work.
I did it in my KA. It didn't work. It blew up.
We're gonna wrap up on that note while everyone's still happy and laughing about the year, guys. It's been so much fun for all of us having you guys tune in every single night this year. Obviously, we just started the show. It's not going to end. We got a whole lot of fun stuff we're planning. I was telling everybody I'm really excited about everything we got coming together. It's coming together really, really fast. We've already announced a bunch of our live stream series. We've got a couple more that we're adding to the schedule. So those weekends we've already got confirmed for those 4 championships already are still coming. If you know anyone that wants to jump on board as an advertising partner, I'm trying to get to the last bit of our budget. It'll make things work. We're going to do a bunch of pre-race shows. I'd love to do something like NASCAR Trackside Live on Friday nights or Game Day Live on Sunday mornings and post-race shows and keep doing fun stuff along with shows like this during the week. And who knows, for the races that Connor comes back and joins us with, and Braden comes back, and hopefully we get Paulie back along with Ryan and Brandon, of course, back for 2022, and the whole new cast that we got coming up into senior and shifter. We'll have a lot of fun with them throughout the season. So again, stay posted for all that, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in every single week. Who has? It's been a blast. We will see you guys down the road, and that's going to do it for KC Happy Hour episode 22.